So you're thinking about moving to Indianapolis, Indiana. Well, don't. I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you shouldn't be moving to Indianapolis, Indiana. Stick around because you don't want to miss them. Welcome to the Discovering Central Indiana YouTube channel. I'm Eric with the Potholes Realty Group, and if this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Central Indiana and the market, go ahead and subscribe below. My business partner Julie and I, we get calls and texts every single day from people just like you who are looking to make their move to Central Indiana. So whether that's in 9 days or 9 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or set up a Zoom call. Indianapolis has a lot to offer its residents, but there are some reasons you shouldn't move here, and so I'm going to give you the top 4 reasons. So let's go ahead and jump into it right now. Reason number 1 is going to be the weather. Indiana and Indianapolis in general has bipolar weather. So it's winter right now. So last week it was nice and warm in the 40s, but now this week we got snow and it's in the mid 20s and even going in below the 15 degrees or so. It can be cold, wet, and rainy. That is the motto for our winters: cold, wet, and rainy. Snow, we don't get as much snow as we used to, honestly, but it's miserable, honestly. Cars don't like it. I don't like it. You know, it can be miserable. So if you don't like the cold, you should definitely be somewhere warm 24/7. On top of the harsh winters that we have, in early spring, we can sometimes get snow. And then as spring progresses, it's just very wet and rainy. So, I mean, it's good because we need the rain, but at the same time, it can be depressing, cloudy, rainy, you can't go out and do anything. And then even in the spring, you've got tornado season. That's the best one, tornado season. Nothing like getting your house blown away by the tornadoes. With our summers, they are hot and humid, so you get a full range of seasons here in Indianapolis and in Indiana in general. You got nice, freezing, harsh winters. You've got nice, cold, wet springs with tornado season. Then you also have hot and humid summers as well. The fall time isn't terrible unless you have allergies. If you're like me and you have allergies, you know, spring and the fall are when your allergies are really going to bother you. So you always have that to look forward to. Now our falls can definitely be beautiful with the leaves changing and whatnot, but more recently we haven't seen as much of that in terms of leaves changing. Yes, they still change, but typically what will happen is, you know, the leaves are green, they change all of a sudden, and then the next day they drop on the ground. Or if you're lucky and you have a tree that doesn't drop until, you know, a few days before Christmas, you get out there to clean up the leaves. I had one of those trees growing up and it was a pain in the butt. Reason number 2 why you shouldn't move here to Indianapolis, or just Indiana in general, are our roads. Our roads are terrible, especially in Indianapolis. They are riddled with potholes. And a lot of the times it's caused by our harsh winters because the roads will freeze and thaw. They don't like that. Then you have snow plows coming through, ripping up the roads, and then the city of Indianapolis is too cheap to fix the potholes. So you're gonna be driving along and you'll hit some potholes, and then your dashboard will light up with a whole bunch of lights, traction control, check engine, all that good stuff. So again, if you like adventure, drive on our Indianapolis roads, jack up your car, and spend thousands of dollars to get it fixed. It's fantastic. It's an experience. That's what I'll say. It's an experience. And then with our transportation system, it's not great. We do have an Indigo system. It's a bus system that'll take you where you need to go inside Indianapolis, but at the same time, it still can be kind of inconvenient because you got to wait for them to show up. They have to make a whole bunch of different stops. We don't have any kind of trains or anything like that to make it faster and more accessible to people. So, I mean, Indianapolis in general, you have to have a car. It's very car-centric. The other best thing, honestly, would be Uber or Lyft that will take you where you need to go. And when it comes to traffic here in Indianapolis, it can be annoying sometimes. So generally speaking, traffic is bad during rush hour, you know, in the morning and the evenings, which is to be expected. People are trying to get to work and then people are trying to come home. But the thing is with 465, we call it the 465 circle. So 465 is just a big circle around Indianapolis, take you where you need to go. But the thing is, the city of Indianapolis and Indiana, they just love to do construction constantly on 465, I-69, 65. So you have a lot of backups because of that road construction. I don't know if they will ever complete the road construction. And basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to improve the road. They're trying to make it better so you can go faster, because who doesn't want to drive faster? But at the same time, you have so much construction, you know, you have so many backups. It is such a pain to deal with, honestly. And here's a fun fact about Indiana drivers. We rank 7th in all the US for worst drivers. So, I mean, some people will take that as a badge of honor, but the thing is, people will tailgate you, so they're either going to tailgate you, or they're not going to pay attention and drive slow, or, you know, they're in their own little world. They don't pay attention to where they're going. They will cut you off, they will slow down, or they will just tailgate you until you get out of their way, and then they'll tailgate the next person that was in front of you. Very frustrating sometimes, honestly, with drivers. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know where they're going. They take forever to make up their mind. But of course, everywhere is going to have bad drivers. Some drivers are just worse than others in certain areas. The third reason you shouldn't move here to Indianapolis is going to be it's not a very walkable city. Now, there are some areas that are going to be more walkable. Broad Ripple is going to be one that's more walkable, and Monument Circle, that general mile, is going to be more walkable. But the thing is, the rest of Indianapolis in general is not very walkable, and it's a big complaint that residents have. The sidewalks aren't great. There aren't dedicated bike lanes, although honestly, I don't know if I would want to ride on a bike lane just because of how bad drivers can be. I don't want to get creamed on a bike. Honestly, that would be terrible. Another complaint that residents have is just the design of the city, where other cities like Carmel are designed more like European cities because it's so walkable, and European cities in general are very walkable. Well, unfortunately here in Indianapolis, it's not designed with that walkability in mind. It's a very car-centric city. You have to have a car to get around, unfortunately. Yes, you can ride a bike, you can take the transportation systems, but they're not that great. They definitely need a lot of work to honestly cater to the residents, and you know, walking around is going to be a heck of a lot better for your health than just driving everywhere. That's another complaint, is it's not very walkable, so that's a big downside about Indianapolis as well. The fourth and final reason you shouldn't move to Indianapolis is going to be the crime rate. So people describe Indiana as a flyover state full of cornfields. Well, yes, that is true. We have cornfields out in the country. One surprising thing, though, is Indiana and their crime statistics. Now, the nice thing is crime has slowly been going down, just like the national average, according to the FBI crime statistics. But the crime rate here in Indianapolis is not great when it comes to smaller cities, because we are a smaller city. We're not anywhere to the size of an LA, New York, or Chicago. According to the Indiana Environmental Reporter, the crime rate here in Indianapolis is 43.82 per 1,000 residents. So that's a staggering 89% higher than the national average. When it comes to violent crime, it's 1 in every 100 people. For property crime, it's every 1 in 30 people. And when you look at a map of Indianapolis inside of the 465 circle, as I'm showing you now, you can definitely see where crime is higher. I have to be very careful about what I say in terms of places you to go and places you don't want to go, but this map should do a good job of saying what I can't as a real estate agent. In my opinion, one of the reasons we have so much crime is we are part of the crossroads of America. A lot of people will come through here to get to places from like Chicago, New York. I mean, it's a hub to where a lot of people will come and go elsewhere, driving or, you know, flying. So, I mean, we're close to a lot of different areas like Chicago, not terribly far from Nashville, you know, New York, Florida. So those different areas attract a lot of people, and of course they have to go through Indiana most of the time, depending on where you're going, to get to certain areas. So that will bring a whole different type of people, or different types of people, I should say. And with that, unfortunately, crime. So those are my top 4 reasons why you don't want to move to Indianapolis, Indiana. Let me know what your top reason is for not liking it here or not wanting to move. And remember, if you're looking to move in 9 days or 9 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or set up a Zoom call.